Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something I think a lot of you know really well. That feeling when you're organizing professional development, maybe for a district, an organization,
Oh, yeah.
and just the sheer work involved.
Mhm.
You know, managing who's coming, creating documents for every single person, sending out all the emails.
It's a lot, a ton of admin.
It really is. So okay, let's unpack this. Imagine just for a second if all that registration, all those personalized docs, all those emails
Mhm.
could just happen automatically. Think of the time saved.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today. There's this professional learning series that shows how to automate these PD workshops using, believe it or not, Google Apps Script.
That served, okay.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is how it takes tools you probably already use every day, Google Forms, Sheets, Docs, familiar stuff.
Right, the usual suspects.
Exactly. And then it adds this powerful layer of custom scripting. It's not as scary as it sounds, honestly, but it totally transforms the process from like a manual marathon into something smooth and almost hands off.
Okay, so our mission today is basically to break down how this automation works. We want to show you the core pieces, the kind of magic behind it. It's like a shortcut to managing workshops without the usual headache. And we're drawing all this from the actual series, materials, participant info, video walkthroughs, the whole package.
It's a blueprint, really.
Yeah, a blueprint for getting your time back. So where do we start with this automation journey? Well, like any workshop, it starts with getting people signed up, registration.
Makes sense.
So this series, it kicks off by having you build a Google form. And it's not just, name and email. It's designed to grab everything you actually need.
What kind of things are we talking about?
Well, the essentials, obviously.
Mhm.
Email, first name, last name, their district or organization. But then it gets specific, like asking yes or no for attending each session.
Ah, okay, session by session.
Right. And asking if they want the documents and recordings, even if they can't make it live. Plus, there's a spot for comments or questions. So it's thorough, but still easy for people to fill out.
Gotcha. So you collect all that up front. Then what? Where does it go?
It lands, as you'd expect, in a Google Sheet. But here's where it gets clever. It's not just one messy sheet. The series teaches a two-sheet system.
2 sheets. Why?
Well, the first sheet is just the raw form data, untouched. Everything exactly as it came in. But the second sheet, they call it the merge data sheet. That's where the organization happens automatically.
How does that work?
It uses a function, a pretty powerful query function. It basically pulls just the specific columns you need, A through J in this case, from that raw data sheet.
Ah, like filtering it intelligently.
Exactly. And it even lets you relabel the headers right in the query itself. So instead of just F, G, H, you can label them session 1 date, session 2 date, session 3 date, much clearer.
Okay, that query function sounds like a bit of a game changer. Select A, B, C, and then label F session 1 date.
Yep, and you add a 1 at the end to bring the headers over too. It means your data on that second sheet is clean, organized, and ready for the next steps, right from the start.
You know, this raises an important question. How often do we just wish our data would organize itself like that? That query function is a real aha moment for anyone who deals with form responses. No more manual sorting.
Totally. So, okay, data's collected, it's organized on that merge data sheet. What's the next big leap? It's getting that personalized touch, right? The output.
The actual document for the participant.
Precisely. And that's where the Google Doc template comes in. You create a template document, but here's the key.
Mhm.
You use placeholders. Things like first name or email address.
Ah, with the curly braces.
Exactly. Those curly braces are critical. They're like little signals for the script we'll talk about in a minute. They tell the script, okay, grab the data from the first name column in the spreadsheet and put it here.
So each document gets automatically customized.
That's the goal. Every person gets something that looks like it was made just for them using the info they provided.
Okay, this is starting to connect. Forms for input, sheets with query for organizing, docs template for the output structure.
Oh.
What's the engine driving it all?
That would be the brain, as you called it earlier. Google Apps Script.
Right. And maybe we should demystify that a bit. It sounds technical.
It does. But in this context, it's simpler than you might think. It's basically just some custom code that lets your Google Apps, the form, the sheet, the doc, talk to each other and do things automatically.
And the great part about this particular series is you don't need to be a coder, right?
Not at all. The process they lay out is pretty straightforward. You go to extensions in your Google Sheet, find App Script, and then you literally copy and paste the script they provide right into the editor.
So the code is pre-written, you just need to put it in the right place.
Exactly. But there is one really crucial setup step. You can't skip this.
Okay, what's that?
You have to tell the script which specific files and folders to use. It needs the unique ID for your Google Doc template.
The one with the curly braces?
Yep. And the ID for the Google Drive folder where you wanted to save all the new personalized docs it creates. And also the ID for another folder where the final PDFs will go.
PDFs, too. Okay, so how do you find these IDs?
It's actually right in the web address, the URL. For a Google Doc, it's the long string of letters and numbers after the D in the address bar. For a folder, it's the string after folders.
Ah, okay. So you just copy those bits from the URL.
And paste them into the designated spots within the script itself. It's a vital configuration step. The script needs those addresses to know where everything is.
Makes sense, like giving it the right coordinates. So once it's configured, what does the script actually do? Let's get into the core functions.
Right. The first big one is the mail merge function. This is where the magic of creating those personalized documents really happens.
Okay.
So you run this function, and it first looks at your merge data sheet, the organized one. It goes row by row, checking if there's already a link to a personalized document for that person.
So it doesn't duplicate work if you run it again.
Exactly. If the document link column is blank for someone, the script kicks into gear. It copies your template doc.
The one with the placeholders?
Yep. It names the new copy using the participant's last name, makes it easy to find later, and saves it in that special docs folder you told it about.
And then the placeholder replacement.
That's the crucial bit. Here's where it gets really interesting. The script finds those first name, email address, etc., placeholders in the new document and replaces them with the actual data from that person's row in the spreadsheet.
Wow. So it literally builds the personalized document on the fly.
It does. And once it's done that, it takes the web link, the URL of that newly created personalized Google Doc, and pastes it back into the document link column in the spreadsheet for that person.
Ah, so it tracks what it created.
Right. And it also marks email sent as no and leaves the PDF column blank, setting things up for the next steps.
That's incredibly efficient, generating all those unique docs automatically. Okay, so now you have a folder full of personalized Google Docs. What's next?
Getting them ready to share easily. That means PDFs, usually. So the next function in the script is the PDF creation function.
Makes sense. How does that work?
Pretty similarly, actually. It scans the merged data sheet again. This time, it's looking for rows that do have a Google Doc link.
Meaning the personalized doc exists.
Right, but where the PDF column is still empty.
So it knows which ones need converting?
Exactly. If it finds one, it takes that Google Docs, converts it into a PDF file, gives the same name but with .pdf at the end, and saves that file into the designated PDF folder, the other folder ID you configured earlier.
Okay, so separate folders for the working docs and the final PDFs. Smart.
Yeah, keeps things tidy. And once it's processed, all the ones that needed converting, you get a little message saying, PDF creation process finished.
Nice. So now you've got personalized PDFs ready to go, which leads to the final big step, I imagine.
The emailing. Often the most time-consuming part if you do it manually.
Oh, absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, just think about the sheer volume of manual emails this single function can eliminate for event organizers. It's huge.
It really is. So the email function is the last piece. Again, it checks the spreadsheet. It looks for rows that now have a PDF link.
Meaning the PDF has been created?
And it also checks that the email sent column is still no or blank.
Right, got to make sure you don't email someone twice by accident.
Precisely. If both those conditions are met, it uses Google's built-in Mail app feature. It's like the script's own little email tool.
Okay.
And it sends an email directly to the participant's email address, which it pulls from column B in the sheet.
And can you customize that email?
Oh, yeah. The script has a default subject line, something like your PD infrastructure series document, but you can change that easily in the script code. You write your own body message, too. You can even set a custom sender name so it looks official.
That's great. So it's not just functional, it's professional.
Exactly. And the final action, once that email goes out successfully, is the script updates the email sent column for that person to yes. Cycle complete.
Wow. Form to sheet, sheet to doc, doc to PDF, PDF to email, all automated.
Pretty much, after the initial setup, of course.
So how does the actual user, like the workshop organizer, run all this? Do they need to open the script editor every time?
No, that's the beauty of it. The script actually adds a custom menu right inside the Google Sheet itself, usually up top next to Help.
Oh, convenient.
Very. The typical workflow is just 3 clicks. You click the custom menu item, maybe called Workshop Automation or something.
Okay.
Then you select the first option, like 1, create personalized docs, or workshop mail merge. The very first time you do this, Google will ask you to authorize the script, just a one-time thing to give it permission to access your docs and sheets and stuff.
Standard procedure for scripts.
Right. Then once that's done, you go back to the menu, click 2, create PDFs, let it run, then back again, click 3, email PDFs. Click, 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 pretty much. And in the source materials, they had this example, Jim Monty, who signed up. Instead of someone manually making his doc, PDFing it, emailing it, click, 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 and Jim gets his personalized document with all his details, session links, everything, straight to his inbox.
That's a tangible example of the time saved right there. Multiply Jim by dozens or hundreds.
Exactly. Thousands of hours potentially saved across a district over a year.
And what if something changes? Or you need to regenerate just one person's document? Is it flexible?
It is, actually. That's another neat part. If you need to rerun part of the process for someone, or maybe even everyone, you can just go into the spreadsheet, find the relevant column like the document link or PDF or email sync column, and just delete the entry in that cell.
Clear the status.
Right. And then you just run that part of the script again from the menu. You'll see the blank cell and redo the step. So you have control. You can fix things or update things easily.
That adds a lot of practical value. It's not just a one-shot deal.
Yeah, definitely. And looking ahead, this series apparently also touches on using Google's AI, Gemini, to potentially modify the script later.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, imagine you wanted to add more complex features, like maybe automatically sending a follow-up survey link a day after the workshop, or tailoring content suggestions based on their role. Gemini could potentially help you modify the app's script code to add that kind of advanced functionality, even if you're not a pro coder.
So it's future-proofing the skill, too. This isn't just about saving time now. It's about empowering users to build even smarter automation down the line. That makes it incredibly valuable.
Absolutely. So if we just boil it down, this deep dive into the Automate Your District's PD workshops using Google Apps Script Learning series, what it really shows is this, well, powerful and practical way for educators, admins, anyone running these kinds of events to just automate the heck out of those tedious tasks.
Yeah, the registration management, the personalized docs, the emails, it all happens within the Google tools you already know.
Freeing up so much time and, frankly, mental energy for the stuff that actually matters more.
Exactly. And, understanding how this works, it's not just about the specific tools and the forms, the script. It's really about a shift in thinking, a mindset shift towards efficiency, towards using technology strategically for these everyday organizational chores.
Working smarter, like you said, transforming admin headaches into automated wins.
Couldn't have said it better.
Which brings us to our final thought for you, our listener, to sort of chew on. Thinking about this whole process, what other administrative tasks in your organization, maybe things completely unrelated to PD workshops, could be streamlined or totally transformed using these same principles of Google Apps script automation? Where else could you apply this thinking?
Lots of possibilities there.
Definitely something to consider. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope this gave you some useful insights and maybe sparked some ideas for your own workflows.